Predictably Irrational, The Hidden Forces That Shape Our Decisions, by Dan Ariely, is a compelling exploration of the psychological and behavioral factors that influence human decision-making. Published in 2008, the book presents a series of experiments and insights that reveal how and why people often act irrationally and how these behaviors follow predictable patterns. Ariely, a behavioral economist, draws on his research to explain how various cognitive biases and social influences shape our decisions in ways that are often inconsistent with rationality. Introduction: The Irrational Mind. Dan Ariely introduces the concept of irrational behavior by highlighting how people's decisions are often influenced by hidden forces that defy traditional economic theories. He sets the stage for exploring the systematic biases and irrationalities that affect everyday decision-making. Key concepts: behavioral economics, the study of how psychological factors influence economic decisions. Systematic biases, the predictable and recurring errors in judgment and decision-making. Part 1, the truth about relativity. Chapter 1, the fallacy of supply and demand. Ariely explains how relative comparisons affect our perception of value. People often make decisions based on relative differences rather than absolute values. For instance, the price of a product might seem more reasonable if compared to a more expensive alternative, even if the original price is still high. Key concepts: relativity, the tendency to judge the value of something in comparison to other options. Anchoring, the influence of initial information on subsequent judgments and decisions. Chapter 2, the cost of zero cost. This chapter explores how the concept of free can disproportionately influence our decisions. Ariely demonstrates that people are often willing to make irrational choices when something is offered for free, even if the free option is less valuable or less desirable than alternatives. Key concepts: free effect, the tendency to overvalue items offered at no cost. Decision-making, how free can skew rational decision-making processes. Part 2, the psychology of decision-making. Chapter 3, the influence of social norms. Ariely examines how social norms and peer behavior impact our decisions. He shows that people are influenced by the actions and expectations of others, often leading to decisions that are socially motivated rather than individually rational. Key concepts: social norms, the unwritten rules that govern behavior in social settings. Peer influence, the effect of others' actions on our own decision-making. Chapter 4, the power of the default. In this chapter, Ariely discusses the concept of default options and how they significantly influence decision-making. People often stick with default choices rather than actively making decisions, highlighting how defaults can shape behavior. Key concepts: default effect, the tendency to accept preset options or defaults. Behavioral design, the impact of default settings on choice and behavior. Part 3, the dark side of decision-making. Chapter 5, the effect of expectations. Ariely explores how expectations can shape our experiences and perceptions. He explains how pre-existing expectations can alter how we perceive the quality of products or services, leading to biased judgments. Key concepts: expectation bias, the influence of pre-existing expectations on perceptions and experiences. Placebo effect, how beliefs and expectations can affect outcomes. Chapter 6, the impact of emotions. This chapter delves into how emotions and psychological states impact decision-making. Ariely illustrates how emotional responses can lead to irrational choices and how understanding these influences can improve decision-making. Key concept: emotional influence, the role of emotions in shaping decisions and judgments. Behavioral patterns, how emotional states affect rationality and choice. Part 4, improving decision-making. Chapter 7, the role of self-control. Ariely addresses the issue of self-control and how it affects decision-making. He discusses strategies for managing self-control and making more rational decisions despite the challenges posed by impulsivity and temptation. Key concepts: self-control, the ability to regulate impulses and make long-term decisions. Strategies for improvement, techniques for enhancing self-control and decision-making. Chapter 8, the use of behavioral insights. In the final chapter, Ariely offers practical advice for applying behavioral insights to improve decision-making. He provides examples of how understanding behavioral biases can lead to better personal and organizational decisions. Key concepts: behavioral interventions, using insights from behavioral economics to improve decisions. Practical applications, implementing strategies to address irrational behavior in various contexts. Conclusion: embracing irrationality. Dan Ariely concludes by reflecting on the implications of understanding irrational behavior. He emphasizes that recognizing the predictable patterns of irrationality can lead to better decision-making and improved outcomes in both personal and professional life. Predictably Irrational, the Hidden Forces That Shape Our Decisions, offers an engaging and insightful look into the irrational aspects of human decision-making. Dan Ariely's exploration of behavioral biases and cognitive errors provides valuable lessons for understanding how and why we make decisions. By revealing the hidden forces that shape our choices, Ariely helps readers navigate the complexities of human behavior and improve their decision-making processes.